Hi everyone, welcome to the Agosia Art Studio. As you may or may not know, I have been working on a digital collage project, and what that means is that one, I've been just sitting and working on the computer all day, which, has its pleasures, but sometimes it's kind of boring. And two, I just haven't been sewing very much because I don't need to. So I already have the characters that I'm using for my collage work, and so I'm not making any little bodies, not making any little costumes, and I have to admit, I'm getting a little antsy. So, so that's the point, right? I haven't been sewing, and that's one of the things that I really like to do. I like to spend some time stitching every day. So that's the first part of this. The second part is that I was on Pinterest the other day, and like many people, I have a whole bunch of boards and I collect all kinds of ideas. And if you have been following me in the past, or back in 2020, you were involved in the Creativity from Almost Nothing series, then you know that I am a big believer in having samples in the studio. So if you're going to learn how to do pleats, or you're going to learn how to work with buttons or beads or whatever, just sit and do a whole bunch of samples. I really recommend doing it when you're bored, and then having notebooks where you can go into your own work and get ideas from there. So that's kind of like the antithesis of the whole Pinterest thing, right? So we go through and we scroll and we look at all these really cool, neato, pretty, colorful things, and it's just like click, 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 click. And I have all these boards, and it's like, what if the viral zombie apocalypse occurred? Where would all those ideas go? They'd be gone, right? Whereas my samples that I have here in the studio, I could always go in and do that. So, we've all been saving all these patterns and ideas and really cool things, but we don't do anything with them. And I think that's really an important thing. So I was thinking that what I would start doing is going into my Pinterest boards and actually taking a hard look at them and making samples for the things that I liked. So I thought maybe we could do a little bit of a sew along, a stitch along, and see where this goes. I'm going to start with my first board that has to do with all kinds of textural things. And the name of the board is Embellishment and Ideas for Doll Costumes. So if you are a doll type person, you can kind of take a look at the board there and see what I have that interests me. And it's not doll clothes. A lot of it is textural stuff, or, well, anyway, I went in and I printed out all of my pins. And let me tell you, this is not an easy thing to do. Pinterest doesn't want you doing this. So they don't make it easy. And I couldn't figure out a quick and easy way to do it. So what I did is I just took a whole bunch of screenshots and then stitched them together in Illustrator and then printed it out. So I made it big enough that I could tell what everything was. And then I just printed out, all the pages in color because I think I needed to see them in color. So this board is 8 pages of stuff. Now you can go in and you can rearrange your boards so that you have things by subject. And I'm not going to do that. So if you want to go and look at the things that I like, I'm just going to leave all of this in the same order. And so what I thought I would do is sort of go through all of the ideas and see if there were things that kind of grouped together and maybe work with those things first. And one of the things that I noticed right away is that I like tassels. I have a lot of tassel ideas. Apparently I like yo-yos a lot, which is funny because, I've never done anything with yo-yos, I think. So I have a lot of pins that have to do with yo-yo stuff. And they're not like quilting yo-yos either, no. I like ruffles. I do use ruffles a lot. And, there's all kinds of things in here. So I'm going to start out by, I think it would be ambitious to say one idea a week. So like, yo-yos week 1. But I'm just going to say I'm going to start now with yo-yos. So I'll do a couple of videos making the yo-yos, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But I thought you might be interested in this, joining in, and let's see where this goes, right? Because it's one of the things where you want to have the samples there in the studio. At least I do. I want to have my samples. But also it's a jumping off point because as you start to work with things and use new materials, you get ideas to do other things. And I think that's one of the main points here. So I hope you join in. If not, just watch and comment and let's see what happens. So until next time, bye-bye.